Most people are aware of the health benefits of green tea, especially when it comes to protection against cancer and heart disease, but not everybody likes the taste, and so they avoid drinking it. If your green tea tastes bitter, it's probably because you're using boiling water. The correct temperature for green tea is actually between 160 and 180, so about 175 is perfect. Now, I realize that most people like tea bags, but to get the most antioxidants from your green tea, loose tea is the best at the right temperature. And the best way to get that temperature, to me, is to get one of these teapots that I have. This is a special teapot made just for making tea. And as you can see, there's a separate setting for each of the teas, from green to white to oolong to black tea, which each one requires a different temperature. Now, these teas all come from the same plant, but they're processed differently. So, and there's even matcha tea, by the way. Now, matcha is a ground up green tea that you actually put into the water and you ingest the actual tea leaf that's ground up. And this one actually has the most benefits of all the teas. So from all the research I've done, the green tea with the most benefits, or the tea with the most benefits, is actually matcha tea first, followed by white tea, then green, then oolong, and then black, which has the least benefits, but they still all have benefits, and I drink them all. So here's how to do the tea. We're going to make green tea right now. I'm going to use the teapot and set it for green. And now let's talk about utensils here. There are so many ways and so many tools to make green tea. You can use a teapot like this, which is just a plain teapot with no infuser, in which case the tea would go in loose, and you would put it into a cup using a strainer like this, and you just pour it in when you're done. Now, one nice thing that I see a lot of in the stores now is a teapot like this. Does it look like a pumpkin? It's so cute. This one has an infuser, which a lot of them now have, and you can see this lets the tea kind of be loose in the water. But this, to make just 1 cup, is not, there's too little water in the bottom, it doesn't reach the tea. So when I make just 1 cup of tea, I use my little teapot like this that I found, which is good for 1 cup, and I just put the tea in loose. Now, and the benefit of that is the more that tea is exposed to the water and the looser it can run around, the more antioxidants you'll get. So a typical green tea, you would use maybe like a tablespoon of loose green tea to make 1 cup. So I'm going to put that into my little teapot. I just kind of pour it in like this. And I think that's about it for 1 cup. Now, if you don't want to use a strainer, you've got all kinds of other contraptions here. You've got this kind of a strainer that actually sits in the cup like that. You've got this kind of strainer that sits on the cup and you just pull it out. You've got stuff like this, you know, little infusers and stuff. But from everything that I've read, the more that tea can move around in the water, the better. So we're going to do it in this. And there's no top that came with this, so I just keep the tops from like my cottage cheese or whatever, and I just put it on top. So as soon as the water's ready, we'll make some tea. Okay, that hot water is ready. Now, if you don't want to have a teapot like this, there are other ways to get that right temperature. You can boil water and cool it down a little bit. You can microwave some water. And if you want to make sure you have the right temperature, you can use an instant read thermometer like this. And after a while, you'll know what it takes to get the right temperature for your tea. So this one's just right. I'm going to make my tea right here, pour it in, and I'll put the top on for I usually do mine for 2 minutes. This is my little cottage cheese top. Now, you can set a timer, because if you walk away, sometimes you'll forget and the tea will wind up being bitter. Okay, I think my tea is ready. And I just take my little strainer, pour it into the cup. And one more thing that I have to tell you is try to drink the tea as soon as it's made, because it starts to oxidize and you lose some of the benefits. So drink the tea sooner than later. And also make sure you store your tea in dark containers, not exposed to light, not exposed to air. So I think that's about it. So bottom line, no boiling water, and loose is better. Kind of like men's underwear. I mean, aren't loose boxers better for, you know, results? Well, so is loose tea. Cheers.